Hi guys, it's Dale with the insurance. Today we have it's a pretty fun but pretty direct and short article that we wrote kind of a few years ago. For some people it may be very helpful because you may be renting a vehicle often, which means you may be a repeat offender of some of these tips, and over the years it can probably, or it could have, saved you a lot of dough. The title of the article is 7 Costly Mistakes to Avoid When Renting a Car, right? Just like everything else, the first one, just like everything else, you want to create a market. Believe it or not, the pricing on renting a car varies dramatically, as does the value, right? So now I've got a pretty large family, so I need a lot of car and a lot of space. So I'm looking for something that's like Tahoe, at least, something very large. And I go from site to site, just trying to find what's the best available rate. And they do vary quite a bit, so make sure you create a market, and get several quotes for the different vehicles that you may be looking at. The second one is tricky because you want to make sure that you're covered. So there is coverage for rental vehicles embedded in some insurance policies, right? You want to make sure that you're covered if you intend on using your personal vehicle insurance when you rent a car. There's other coverage that's sometimes tucked into your credit card, but we all know that the insurance companies provide the option of purchasing insurance there. If you're looking to save money, find out for sure if you have coverage anywhere else, whether that be a credit card or your own insurance policy, your personal car insurance. But before turning down the insurance at the counter, make sure you have coverage for that rental car somewhere else. And most of the time, if you have full coverage, it's tucked into your current insurance policy. This one sounds intuitive, but it's not as intuitive as you think, because you can still rent a car without insurance. But it's obviously not a good idea, right? Because that car is insured, it's just self-insured by you, right? So like, you come out of pocket for any dings that are on the car or that you cause, right? And you are found liable for it. Not a good position to be in. The next one, kind of quirky, but as you can imagine, airports know that they can charge an up fee for convenience. You just got off the plane, you want to get to your destination as quickly as possible. Renting a car from the airport tends to be more expensive than renting, and I'm not saying miles away from the airport, but just outside of the airport, literally, you will save money. And it's because it's the convenience factor. And then the mileage plan, get an adequate mileage plan, right? So there are several options. Nowadays, most companies give unlimited mileage. But once again, pay attention to this, because if you have not been paying attention to it and you've been renting cars, you've been paying fees as you go over that mileage, right? So that's where the number one tip comes into play, right? So like, when you're doing comparisons, there's value to be had there, right? So two cars, two different companies could have the same price, but one has unlimited mileage, right? There's more value with that option. So make sure you're looking at the mileage option as well. Another option the rental companies provide you is how you refuel, right? So you can have them refuel, right? And you can pre-purchase fuel where you have to truly gauge how much fuel you're going to use, right? Because they're not going to refund you unused fuel, right? So you've got to be on the money, which is hard in itself. You can just say, forget it, I'm turning this thing in, you guys fill it up. That's the most expensive because they have to expend resources to actually go fill it up. Or you can take the time out of your day for you to fill it up when you drop it off, which is the best way to do and can save you a ton of money again. And the last one, once again, intuitive but important. Turn the car in on time. These rental companies will nickel and dime you. Don't make it easy for them, okay? So know the parameters. They may have a cutoff point or a grace period. Know that grace period, right? Because once it's tripped, they will upcharge you for a half hour, maybe an hour additional. So those are kind of the 7 tips that we wanted to provide you with, in hopes that it can save you some money, especially if you're renting cars all the time. Thanks for dropping by, guys. We'll chat next week.